I'm Rowan, and you're watching episode 13 of In the Zone, season 2. And so today, we'll be talking about Back There. We'll be spoiling the whole thing, so you have to check it out back there beforehand. You have to travel back in time after you watch the episode of In the Zone, so that it's not spoiled for you, and then you can watch the episode then.
So we're covering time travel today.
Exactly.
So, ooh.
So the thing is that the episode starts at
like
the Potomac Club. Potomac.
So
Potomac.
it's
like the river. I just don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
That's
So
all.
then there's
No
people-
big.
There's people like playing bridge, or they say it's bridge later, but they're playing card games, and then they start discussing about like time travel.
Right. So one of the guys, I forget who,
Time.
they said that if someone went back in time, they couldn't change the future or the present. And then that's really all we get from this cold open. We go over to Rod, who's casually just sitting in there reading a newspaper.
Cool.
It's pretty.
That's one of his cooler. Like,
It's really
dances.
cool. And then fade to black.
Yeah.
We fade up
And then he goes.
the main guy is Corrigan, and so
Right.
he's like, I'm tired. Who cares about time
looks
travel?
Like he dyed his
I'm
hair.
gonna leave.
So then he leaves, and then there's the waiter he bumps into, and for some reason the waiter's really afraid of him. He's like, ah.
The guy's name is William, and it somehow comes up in the conversation that it's April 14th. Okay, whatever. Corrigan goes outside, and then it gets all blurry. He's like, oh.
He's like,
Oh.
what's up? And then
then
the lamp like turns from like a light into like it's like candles.
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
And then all of a sudden,
time
it's
travel.
in an oldie time, and there's old-timey type people, and there's an
And
old-timey
there's like
type
a horse
horse-drawn carriage.
and, like,
And he's wandering around, and he's in older clothes, you know,
And then
he's
he's like-
freaking out.
He's like, I gotta go home.
Right, but now his home
Go.
is now in the past. It's a boarding
like
house.
A hotel.
It's a, well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a boarding
And so-
house. But here's the weird
I
thing.
used to live here.
He kind of wavers between, like, really freaking out about being in the past
Yeah.
and being, like, super casual about it.
I
Doesn't
feel like
work.
These people, like, they don't understand. They just act strange. You gotta act like someone would in that time, or you gotta know it. But you can't just be like, I
But-
used to live here.
I don't know, here's the thing. He's in shock. He did it, it's like,
No, but still, you gotta act like you're from.
I
there.
think you need to be
can't
more
just- otherwise-
sympathetic to the people who
Yeah.
have been time traveling, who've been in that situation, you know? 'Cause it's like, they don't know what's going on, they're confused. So the woman who owns the boarding house, she is like really unnecessarily rude. She's like, why never just let me come? Because he like rings the doorbell 2 times, and then she's like, huh, are you gonna stay here or get out? I only give rooms
Not
to
that loud.
respectable young men. It is pretty loud. It's,
And there's other people.
why do you
that
have to be
come
so
and they're
rude?
Like, and then there's other people that come. There's like a girl in a dress, and he's like, "We're going to the party."
They're not going to a party, they're going to a play.
Same difference.
A play? No, it's important to the plot because they're going to a play. And they're going to applaud the president. Guy's like, okay, whatever, that wasn't weird. Wait a minute, the president? Whoa.
President Lincoln. Yes, of course. Why? What was this play called?
And, right, and it's called Our American Cousin.
Which
It's at the Ford's Theater. And he's like, it is April 14th, 1865. Oh!
And like, what's with him?
Exactly. And then he goes over to the theater and he bangs on the stage door.
Let
The
me
president's gonna be shot.
And no one's there. And then he
Right,
goes
but
over
then
to the police
but then
station.
we faded to the police station where a policeman brought him in for like being crazy and yelling nonsense and being drunk and all that kind of stuff. The problem is that whenever they ask him how he knows, he's like, I can't tell you how I know because then you'll
Right.
think I'm crazier, which is clever. It's interesting,
Yeah.
it's realistic, and it's that's cool.
Well, time travel isn't necessarily realistic. Well, I mean, it's possible, but it's like really hard.
It's not possible. The thing is,
No, I heard something where it was like, it's possible, but it's like really hard to do. Like, it's possible. You have to go you have to go through a black hole at the speed of light. or
okay, well
something.
you're wrong, but
That's what. I heard something about it being possible.
that's
but
not
it's
what
like-
I'm talking about. What I mean is realistic.
Oh,
What I mean
okay.
is, if you're in that situation, this is gonna be a problem that you're going to face.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so he gets taken to the cell, and then a guy saunters in, and he's very clearly like supposed to be John Wilkes Booth. I think you can
Yeah,
tell.
I kind of you could. It's a spoiler, but you can kind of tell.
Yeah, and they're about to lock up Corrigan, and he's like, "I'm Jonathan Wellington, and I want to take him into my custody because I think he might be ill or drunk, and maybe he's a veteran." Is this something that happened back in olden times, where you can go over to a prison and say,
I guess.
I want them to live with me, and I'll take care of them?
Well, you can. I think
No
it's
big.
still no. It's not like a prison, but if you basically if it's like not the prison, if it's just like they haven't like it's not like a trial thing. It's just a
Right.
small
I guess
thing where they're
that
in the jail.
would kind of make sense.
You could pay to bail them out and bring them home. You can actually do that probably, but you can't do it if they're in obviously like a full-on prison and they've been proven guilty and all that. But if it's like a small
Right.
thing like that, like and they're just
Yeah,
in, the
like
police
yelling on the
place,
street.
and they're just in the police place,
Mm.
you could probably actually do that. You might have to pay money, but you might
Either way,
to like bail them
pretty
out,
sketch
but-
for this random guy who, like, how did he even know? It's like, he just walked in. Anyways, who cares? They're going together. Then there's this one police guy.
Who's like, he's like, should we check? Should we add another security guard just to make sure?
And then another, like, unreasonably angry person. He's like, why would we do that? Is the angry police.
Silly.
There's
Like
enough
a bike-
guards, you
bike
idiot.
man?
He's so angry. The guy's like, oh, okay. And the guy who plays the policeman, not a good actor. Nope. So he's turned down, and we fade to black. Then we're over at Wellington's, like, room. I guess he's also in a boarding house.
Wellington.
And he pours a drink for Corrigan. Here, it'll
And
make it
why
feel
would
better.
you trust him with a drink? Corrigan's really dumb at this part. And then, yeah, obviously
Yeah, he drinks it.
And then
And he's like, it's 7:30 and the play doesn't start for 3/4 of an hour. How do you know this thing? And that's the whole thing. Oh, if you knew, you wouldn't believe me.
Yeah.
So then Wellington's like, okay, calm down. Gives him like a little handkerchief or like one of those sweat towels you see in the Twilight Zone to wipe off his
And
face.
he gets like really like, he's like, oh, I feel ill.
Yes, and then he goes,
Drink.
you drugged me. Then the guy's like, I think I'm starting to believe you. Takes his cape, walks out of the room, going over to the Ford's Theater, presumably. And then we have like a brief interlude where we see shots from the play. Oh, it's so funny. Then we get way back there to Wellington's room where the guy has woken up and he has this, honestly, it's hilarious. He's like, he's like just crawling.
He's
The whole scene is him
there.
crawling around the room.
He's like, let me out. Someone let me out.
It's a great example of padding the running time. Because if you cut out the scene, nothing's different. It's just like him spending 2 minutes, just like, God, he's gonna be shot. Pretty funny, not gonna lie. Then, even later, the policeman guy comes in. He opens up the door. He asks Corrigan, he's like, you need to tell me more. I spent all night alerting everyone about the assassination, but no one's been listening. Corrigan starts bringing up the name Wellington, and the landlady's like, Wellington? Oh, no one here is named Wellington. He looks at his handkerchief, and it says JWB. John
George W. Bush!
Yes, exactly. George. George. But no, it's John Wilkes Booth. Oh no.
W. Bush went back in time.
Right. Then he's like, you gotta stop him. He says to the policeman, but then we hear murmurs outside. The president's been shot. He's been killed by an actor. And then the policeman is amazed. He leaves. And then there's, a scene. Corrigan's like, why didn't you listen to me? He says to no one. He's just banging on the wall. But then it's in the future or the present and he's banging on the club door. Then an old guy lets him in. Oh, you forgot something you just left a moment ago.
Yeah.
Where's William? William, sir?
doesn't work here.
No one here named William. So he's like, well,
And then it's the guys.
that's a little weird.
And then there's basically it's the guys that are like joking and like laughing, like, and they're talking, but they're talking about something else. They're talking about like an easy way to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, William, what do you think? And
Right.
William's with
It's
them.
William. He's there. Wah, wah, wah.
Plot twist.
And William, he says, well, I have the best method, inheritance. And he explains how his great-grandfather was like a policeman and he was alerting people about the President Lincoln's assassination. Then it got a lot of publicity. He became chief of police, city councilman. He became a millionaire somehow in between. And here he is today. And weren't you an attendant? No. And then Corrigan is so distraught that he wipes his face with a towel, and it says JWB still. So it really happened. And he concludes, some things can be changed, some things can't, and that's the end. What did you think of the episode?
It was one of the better ones, for sure. It was good. I don't know, it didn't have, for the most part, it didn't have a lot of, lame acting. I guess that one guy, but still, it was
I mean, the main guy was pretty good. He did his best.
They took it as, a real event.
Yeah, they had, all the interesting stuff about time travel. Overall, it's a good episode. They did lots of good stuff. The problems are,
I don't see that.
The policeman's acting was bad, but it doesn't bring down the episode like I think some performances do, in the 16mm shrine, that was problematic. I think maybe the plot twist of Jonathan Wellington being John Wilkes Booth, that's a little too obvious.
That was interesting, though.
It was interesting,
you wanted to keep watching to see if that was what you were thinking, or if he was, or because as it got further, you were like, no, that he can't be John Wilkes Booth.
They wouldn't do something that dumb. They do pad it at one point with the scene of him crawling around, but other than that, it's not boring. Just a good episode down the line.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Whoa, a 9 out of 10.
I liked it.
I think it's definitely in the good zone. I'm ultimately though, it's gonna be pretty forgettable, and it doesn't really. It's just alright. You can stop the drum roll. Some of the writing just doesn't seem as, I guess, mature or clever as stuff like Willoughby, or I don't know. I mean, what I am going to give it is 7.
Yeah.
7 from the Rowan.
Hey, Rowan, I feel dizzy. Whoa.
Next week, we will be talking about the episode The Whole Truth, and we are gonna see you then.
Now I was gonna have you go back in time to the beginning of the episode. Forgot to tell you.
So elaborate.
We could do that.